What is going on, everybody? Brad here, back with another Let's Talk Jurassic. And guess what, guys? Jurassic World Dominion has been delayed. It's official. It's really happening now. We can finally stop. Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it here. We're probably going to talk about it on the show. I was going to say we can finally stop talking about the delay, but we're going to stop talking about it as if it's a thing that we hope for and we are wishing for, because it's real now, guys. It's real. We have a delay on Jurassic World Dominion, June 10th. You can see it right over there. There it is. Not this way. This way. June 10th, 2022. It looks like I'm happy about it, right? Doesn't it? I am. I am very happy about it. I gotta say, I am very happy about this situation that we're in. Look, I'm giddy. I'm so hyped that Jurassic World is pushed. Oh, man. This is great. I'm probably the only person on the internet doing this right now, like hyped about about the delay. Look, Jurassic World Dominion, hopefully you can hear me. Jurassic World Dominion needed to be pushed, you know? It really did. It needed to move. We already saw a huge, what do you call it? A huge, just delay in the entire production, right? So they started shooting at the beginning of 2020, and then they were put on delay in March, right? And then we came back in July. So there was a whole lot of months in there missed, right? To get what was projected to be June 11th, I believe, 2021. To hit that date, they had to do a lot of work after that huge gap of time that they missed, right? And they stuck with it. They're like, we're going to stick with it. We're keeping that date. And every time we did a podcast, whether it was the Jurassic Wire or the Jurassic Mailbag, those two specifically, we talked a lot about, you know, hitting that date, hitting the mark, what it meant for the production, what it meant for fans, what it meant for going to a movie and seeing this thing. And we just, every time we analyzed the situation, it never looked good, right? It just didn't look like it was going to work. And finally, we have that confirmation that, look, things are better off when you push this thing to the following year. I'm surprised they didn't do this right off the bat. I know they were probably just keeping their fingers crossed, hoping that everything worked out. And I know, deep down, I just I knew this day would come. I knew it would come. And honestly, I'm happy about it. I am so glad that what we're getting is not any kind of rushed product. I was scared, honestly. I was very nervous that, and relatively speaking, look, we're talking about a pandemic, and you know things are very, very bad in the world. Relatively speaking, I was scared and nervous for Jurassic World Dominion. Okay, so I was afraid that this movie would not get the love and treatment that it deserved. We constantly talk about how big this thing is, right? We talk about, look at that whatever side it's on. That cast over there. I don't know why I have this page up. That cast up there. Look at it. It's huge. And that's probably not even all of them. And just what they have to do to potentially wrap up a trilogy. You know, we know that there's probably going to be more, right? It's the beginning, I guess, of a new era. But what does this mean? You know, there's so much they have to jam pack into this movie. And I just didn't see how they would do that initially to begin with, on a normal timeline, no COVID involved. But a shortened timeline. I just can't see how they would have finished that. They have about 3 weeks left to shoot right now. As of right now, what is today? Today is October 6th, 2020. So they have about 3 weeks left to shoot. And then, you know, they would have had to finish their production and everything and then release it in June. It just feels like a crammed production. I'm getting updates here in the Yankees game. What's happening here? So I'm very, very happy that it's been moved. I feel like this is kind of interesting because we've seen it a lot this past year, right? With a lot of movies that were supposed to come out. Um, we've seen a lot of the fallout, I guess, from that. Okay, as far as other stuff is concerned, like marketing materials and toys and whatever the case may be, a lot of the fallout from these movies that have been shifted to the following year. A lot of movies wanted to come out around now and into November, and I don't know, doesn't really seem like that's working either. And plus, we have to worry about the fact that movie theaters in general are not really handling this all that well. I mean, it's not really going to go well for them if they have to wait, through a significant portion of next year too. Who knows? I mean, Tenet released and is actually losing money for theaters, so it's not a good prospect. So, first off, look, 2021, the date that they were supposed to hit, June 11th. I was saying I was scared about that date, just the movie being what I want it to be. But I'm still worried about going to a theater. I don't want to go near anybody right now. I'm still in that mode. I have not given in to just free, willy-nilly doing whatever I want to do without a mask. I'm still very set on doing everything the safest way possible. So going to a movie theater, even in a few months' time, just seems very much something that's not going to be happening for me. So I was nervous about, especially something like a premiere. How would they handle a premiere in this day and age? Like, do they? I don't know. I have no clue what they would even do. And you talk about promotion. How do they promote a movie during this time? Just doesn't seem right. So luckily, hopefully things will be better in June 2022. Who knows? Let's keep our fingers crossed on that. I think things hopefully should be better by then. I don't know. I hope. Yeah, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this poster. I know you guys are in the chat. I've kind of just went on a rant here for a little bit, just with my personal thoughts and feelings. What are you guys talking about? I see there's a lot of viewers here in the chat. Oh my gosh, a lot of comments. Hopefully I can try to catch up on some of these. We'll see. I see here, let's see. Dodgson93 says, just got to keep a positive mind frame. Everything sucks this year. So yeah, I agree. We got to keep a positive mindset. I know, and the thing is, I put it up on Twitter this afternoon, when this news broke. I said, hey guys, should we do a live stream? And a few people were like, no, it's too soon. It's my body hurts. This is too much to handle. I can't emotionally take this right now. The delay of a Jurassic World movie, but I like the idea of keeping things positive. The best thing that this is going to do is give them the opportunity to make this movie better, to not rush, to not have a rushed product. We're going to get the marketing. We're going to get in all those tie-ins at the same time, hopefully. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. But Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom had one of the biggest movie promotions I have ever seen. I've almost never seen anything like that. The marketing, everything that they had for that movie, whether it was in-person events, just random things showing up in London or LA or just all around the world, just big things popping up out of nowhere. JP25 was around that time. Just so much stuff popped up around then. And of course, all the tie-in marketing materials and everything. But, it was everywhere. So I would expect that Jurassic World Dominion, especially with everybody involved in this film, I would expect this to be even bigger of a marketing push. I would really expect this to be even bigger. I swear that Fallen Kingdom, the marketing push was bigger than anything I saw with Star Wars. Easily. Star Wars kind of fizzled out with their marketing at the end there. They really didn't do much with Rise of Skywalker. And even like the Avengers and stuff. That was a big, period of time for those movies. But I think Fallen Kingdom blew it out of the water. So I wouldn't want to miss any of that stuff. And if we release this in June, probably going to miss a lot of that. So luckily, following year. So that's a plus. So I think that's why you got to look at this positively, because hopefully we can treat this as a normal release. We still don't know, but hopefully we can. And Caleb Burnett, hey, what's up, dude? I don't know if you're still here or not. I think this was a while ago. You said waiting a little longer for Jurassic World Dominion means more time for awesome toys and merchandise. Most importantly, it means more time to get excitedly build up to the release with friends and family in the best fandom in the world. Exactly, dude. That is 100% what it is. Thinking about the release of Dominion, honestly, thinking back to Fallen Kingdom, I know my background's not really working with this black. Sorry. I had the chance to meet up with a bunch of people during the release of Fallen Kingdom and see the movie together and go to an early screening and do all this fun stuff. And I know a lot of people went overseas to go see it. I know Clayton Fioriti went over there, right? And Stephen Ray Morris went over there, meeting up with all kinds of people over there to go see Fallen Kingdom. And that's just, if that's something I feel I would really miss out on. So I'm glad that maybe the opportunity is still there to do this in 2022. Because like Caleb said, that is some of the best things to do is to meet up with people and friends and just see this movie together, experience it together. And, what could be the end of a trilogy? Who knows who's going to depart at this point in time in the series? Who knows? But yeah, let's see what else you guys are saying. I see a lot of focus on toys, so that'll be an interesting thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. If you guys have any questions or topics you want me to cover, let me know. Try to, I don't know, make me see it. I don't know, because I'm kind of just scrolling through because there's so many comments here. Jurassic Dave says, I hope next year Mattel will focus on figures and vehicles from the original trilogy. Very good point. I would love to see that. Dinomation says, it took 4 years to make this film. It's going to be good. Let's hope. Let's really hope it is good. It looks like a lot of you are upset about the 2022. I see Sam's here. She says, I don't see any downside to pushing it besides us having to wait another year. Glad they won't be rushed. Yeah, exactly. Us having to wait another year. This entire time, honestly, since March, I've been pushing, I've been vocalizing it a lot on the podcast. And every time that I have, I've been saying this gives us, and I think Caleb kind of hit on that as well. It gives us much more time to celebrate with each other, during the lead up to this movie. And honestly, with the movie, what we thought was going to be coming out middle next year, I'm sitting here on the podcast, looking at my schedule because, we have a pretty big backlog of episodes and content creators in the back end here. And I'm like, how are we going to do all this? There's very little time and so much to do. I feel like Willy Wonka, right? There's just strike that, reverse it, whatever. I just didn't know how to fit this all in, just like we were talking about with them creating this movie. So, having much more time to celebrate and converse with the fandom, schedule episodes to talk and theorize. And at this point, I feel like we've kind of theorized as much as we can pre-trailers, but I'm so excited to hopefully get more and hopefully have more time to talk about this with you all. And that's the number one thing. As soon as I see that date, 2022, I'm like, more podcasts. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the podcast. If you're watching these videos, we do a weekly podcast. Go download it on iTunes. Is it still called iTunes? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Yeah, that one's a good one. But yeah, so let's see. more time to flesh out the original trio: Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldberg. You said Goldberg, Goldblum. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know if this will give them any more screen time or not. I mean, as far as we know, it's a lot of screen time. I believe this is Lewis here, says delay is the best choice right now. There are many rumors. I can't talk. There are many rumors that some crew has had a positive result. I know that we want this movie, but the health of the crew and the cast is the most important thing. I'm glad they got a delay. Yeah, that's another thing we should touch on as well, is the safety of everybody. I mean, at this point, like we said, they have three more weeks left of filming. The production doesn't end there. You know, there's probably going to be more. Who knows? They might have to do reshoots at some point in time. And factoring in reshoots and trying to cram that in, that just sounds like a COVID catastrophe waiting to happen. And like I believe Lewis said there, it seems like there has been some positive testing, positive results in the testing for some crew members. As far as we know, it doesn't seem like anybody really needs. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. It doesn't seem like any of like the main cast have gotten it, unlike, with the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So I don't know. I haven't heard much of an update on that. Hopefully he's doing okay. Yeah, so we want everybody to be safe and want everybody to treat this the best possible way. And it seems like every other month we're getting like an article from a major news outlet, whether it be like Variety or the Hollywood Reporter or somebody like that, like reporting how well they're handling this and then releasing like a set picture or something. We've seen that a few times already. So who knows how long that's going to last. We have a lot more months left to go, so maybe they'll be releasing a lot. This is going to be interesting as far as like what is the release schedule of all their promotions and stuff. Caleb says Owen needs a Brad Jost beard in Jurassic World Dominion. What, is it all right? Is it doing okay? Does he needs the hair too? Because I feel like my hair is like super long at the moment. But yeah, Owen needs a beard. Can somebody tell Chris Pratt to grow a beard or to have, I don't know who's working on the CG, but like have ILM or somebody like go ahead and just throw a beard on his face. It worked really well with Henry Cavill to take one away. Why not just add one? It worked really well and have. I can't even keep a straight face with the Henry Cavill bit. Like it was terrible. Yeah, Caleb's like he has time to grow it now. So, like on the last day of shooting, he's like, guys, I got a beard now. It's just like one random scene in the middle of the movie. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past Universal because if you watch Fast and Furious 5, I believe, The Rock's goatee changes constantly during that movie, and it's so funny to watch. It's so funny. It kills me every time. But let's talk about some stuff that could happen in the meantime, right? Let's talk about some stuff that we'll see affected and some stuff that not infected, affected, and we'll see what kind of stuff might happen in the meantime. Speaking of that, let's start with Jurassic Dave's comment here. It would be awesome if they gave us another short like Battle at Big Rock next year to get us through. I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I know when Battle at Big Rock came out, I was a big proponent of them like releasing like 2 to 3 of those to kind of like lead us into Dominion, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of story to tell in between Fallen Kingdom, Battle at Big Rock, and Dominion. I feel like there's going to be a lot of, maybe there's going to be like a lot of dialogue in the beginning of the movie that kind of relays that, or maybe like which they don't really do this in Jurassic, but like a title sequence or something, like Planet of the Apes that kind of shows what happens. I don't really expect that to happen, but especially with everything going on and like Lewis said before, the fact that we want the crew and everybody to stay safe. I can't imagine them saying, let's go shoot something else, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. I just don't see that happening. So is there a possibility that maybe they just kind of threw it in with this? Maybe. Maybe. Because honestly, I bet you more than anything, they probably filmed something for Jurassic World Velocicoaster during all of this. I would assume they kind of ate the budget on that, the production and all that, and just filmed any kind of sequences in the attraction for, because they should have video sequences and stuff in the new Universal Orlando Islands of Adventure ride that they've got coming up. And we'll talk about that next year. So I would assume they kind of eat the budget on that, film them all at the same time while they're filming Dominion. So, I mean, maybe they filmed a secret thing that only took a few days during all this, but I doubt it. I just don't know if they want to put, everybody at risk like that. But man, would that be so cool. That would be so awesome. I don't know why this is just killing me. Dope Avatar 7 and 9 says, "Who remembers the toilet scene?" Everybody. It's like you just came into this chat and you're like, "Hey guys, remember that one thing from the first movie that everybody loves?" Yeah, we all love it. I love that. That is one of the best moments. Wait, Stephen Ray Morris just pops in and says 2022. Oh, okay. Hey, man, you confused me. This is all new. And I had to read that out in a very different way, which is letters instead of numbers. And it confused me, man. Did you see the confusion as I read 2022? Oh, I got it. Wow. What else is happening here? What else is going on? Remember that toilet sequence? Oh, so what was I talking about? The Battle at Big Rock. Okay, so let's move on to something else because I kind of touched on it there, is the fact that, Universal schedules tie-in material in advance, right? So that by the time June 2021 rolls around, they're like, you know what? We got a lot of stuff to tie in to release all at once. And one of those things is a roller coaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure out in Orlando. So there's a Jurassic World Velocicoaster coming. It's a Jurassic World ride inside the Jurassic Park land. And it was scheduled to be a tie-in, to the movie to help promote both, in a way. You have, honestly, it's to help promote the attraction. So when you have like the movie in the theaters, it's at the forefront of everybody's mind. So they're like, oh, I want to go experience that in person. I should go schedule a trip to Orlando and go to Islands of Adventure. So it's nice synergy, right? To have those two things debuting the summer 2021. And Velocicoaster was just announced officially the other day, like last week or something. And so where was I going with this? So it's still on track to release then. It's not like they're going to delay the coaster another year. That would probably be crazy unless the park situation's not looking too good. But I think that's going to stick with summer 2021 at this point. I think that's going to be interesting because it's just like a huge missed opportunity. I'm sure the parks will be fine with, releasing on their own. If they had released at the same time, man, would that have been cool to go. And maybe they'll still do it. They'll probably still do it. But when you go to the theater, you sit down, there's always those like previews before the previews, like commercials and like inside the studio, whatever, stuff like that. So they probably would have had a lot of trailers and commercials and stuff for Jurassic World Velocicoaster now at Universal Orlando's Islands of Adventure. Maybe they would have had Chris Pratt do it like, hey guys, you guys should come down to Universal Orlando. It's real hot. It's a real good place. Real nice place. I feel like he's just clueless, so that's where I always go with that. Like he's never done anything before and he just like, that's just who he is. I don't know. So that's like kind of it's a weird thing. The movie's now going to release a year later. But I think everything will be fine as far as that's concerned. And like I said, I think they'll still continue their commercials and stuff when it actually does hit theaters. And let's see. Let's talk about. What should we talk about now? Do I have anything on my notes? All right. So, toys. Let's go with toys. Let's go with toys. So, well, it's hard to kind of talk about like what we would have gotten and any stuff like that. I mean, look, Jurassic World, as far as Mattel is concerned, Mattel has only released for Fallen Kingdom. And that release date for Fallen Kingdom was April 16th, 2018. And then the film released in June, right? Yeah. I don't remember what day. Probably sometime around this time, 10th or 11th or 12th. I forget. So it was a few months in advance the toys were released. So we're talking about, hey, these toys probably would have been in stores in April of 2021, right? Going back to this year and what was going to be released this summer, Ghostbusters, that was going to be released in July, right, of this year. And we've seen a huge influx of Ghostbusters toys. They were pretty much non-existent outside of maybe like collector markets and stuff like that. But Ghostbusters toys, pretty non-existent. No, shelf presence whatsoever in major stores. But this year, this past year, there's like the Plasma series on shelves, which is like not high end, but they're like $20 collectibles, kind of like the Black series for Star Wars. They're really great. I love them. I have all of them so far. And then they also remade, a lot of the old retro toys for Ghostbusters. The stuff that you got back in 1984. And I got a bunch of those as well. So I've been on the Ghostbusters kick because that movie was supposed to come out in July of this year, and then it got pushed. I don't remember when, to sometime next year. So is that something that could happen for Jurassic? Could we miss out? Could we just have like a bunch of random releases? Maybe, probably. I mean, there are probably some things that are kind of hard to hold back at this point. And honestly, it even happened to Jurassic many times. It's happened a bunch of times. Two that we can, two times. It's happened 2 times. All right. So specifically Battle at Big Rock, right? So that was something that was projected to come out in the end of July, August. I believe it was the end of July and August 2019. Trying to remember all this stuff on the fly. It's hard. It's very hard. So I think, it was supposed to come out at that time with Hobbs and Shaw in theaters. That was what we heard from Toy Fair all the way back in February. Man, too many dates. Why are all these dates here? So we heard this rumor, from Mattel directly, and that is so far in advance, from like February all the way out to end of July, August, when the movie released. And then it didn't happen, right, guys? It didn't happen. But the toys came out in May. Like, what? It just really, like, 2 toys randomly came out in May. Some other stuff came out, like other collectibles somewhere else. I think in like another country. But yeah, so in May, these things release. And the timing was just really weird, really bad. Really poorly timed. They never acknowledged what Battle at Big Rock was for months, and then it released obviously in September. So that's months and months of time with toys from a thing that we just don't know what it is. And then, of course, again, it happened with Camp Cretaceous, where we're getting zero information about Camp Cretaceous, and then, we see toys show up, and it's like, we've got this big marquee thing at the end cap of the aisle at Target and all kinds of toys, but they've never talked about when is this thing coming out. And then we kind of get word that, it was probably delayed a little bit, like a month, almost exactly a month due to COVID. So when the things were on the shelves, it would have been perfectly timed. But then there was a delay. So the toys came and went, as far as the marquee is concerned on the end cap. That came and went and then was replaced by Star Wars Galaxy's Edge toys. So obviously the toys were still there. They were just pushed into the back, towards the aisle section where they usually are. But it's just another weird, missed timing thing there. So with a track record here between Universal and Mattel, there's a fair chance that things could be odd, very odd here coming up this next year. But hopefully we're at an early enough point in time here in October where they can maybe say, hey, we were about to push this stuff out to production. And maybe they can say, all right, well, wait, let's cut it off. Don't do it yet. Let's wait because we want to get that synergy. We want that synergy for the release where we release these toys because the movie's coming out. And at least there will be a lot of promotion stuff for a major film, you would hope. So, if they were to release in April of 2022, all should be good. But we have to hope that the timing is right here and that they have not gone into production with their toys. We've gotten word of some things that might be hitting the shelves, for the promotion for this movie. So, there could have been a lot of changes. Each and every line has changed significantly. There's been a lot of differences. So, whatever they had planned, I hope they have time to shift that. But if they do shift it, what happens then? Does anything happen? Do we have no Jurassic toys? Is this going to be the first time in the history of Mattel Jurassic that there's nothing new on the shelves? Do we get to a point where they push Jurassic out? Like you've seen a lot in Walmart, where I don't know, for I guess sales related, but I guess they, we just started to see Jurassic disappear from Walmart. At this point in time, they're kind of slowly coming back. They are here and there at Walmart's, but did they, push out because there wasn't enough sales going on there? And hopefully that doesn't happen, for this next coming year. I hope that there's enough stuff unrelated to Dominion that they can push out. Mattel has been really, really good about creating a lot of variants as far as like repaints and other things. There's been a lot of stuff coming out, like, that we'll see like 5 different baryonyx. And it's like, okay, we kind of get it with that. We don't really need another baryonyx in another playset. But hopefully there's other variants. Like I would love to see like a Tarbosaurus repaint. I feel like there's a lot of things from this past year that I would love to see a repaint on. Majungasaurus, Irritators, stuff like that. I think it would be good to see some cool repaints. But it's like at this point in time, like enough with the Raptors and repaints. Like I just don't want 2021 to just be a re-release and throw it in a new box, whatever the 2021 pattern is, like just throw it in. I hope it's not just like, let's take blue and just put it in another box again, which will most likely happen. But I hope there's something there that they can salvage and say, let's throw this at 2021. I don't know. I mean, we did see, a potential inside scoop as far as, a lot of Amber collection coming to Target, and we're just starting to see it now hit the shelves in Target. So is there a chance that some of that could be, still released and some saved maybe for Dominion? Hopefully. I think, I forget who said it before. Maybe it was Dave, about, apologies if it wasn't, but, re-releasing older stuff and kind of hitting the stuff that they haven't hit yet. I think that would be a great opportunity is, honestly, I don't know where I was just talking about it. Maybe it was in my head. I talk a lot. I don't know. So, it would be great if they actually had a chance to tackle Jurassic World. Hasbro did Jurassic World, and it was nothing. It was terrible. So if maybe Mattel has the opportunity to tackle Jurassic World, that would be fantastic. To see a Claire in the white outfit and get Owen's original outfit, I guess, they all looks the same. But to get the dinosaurs and the things from that movie, even though we've gotten the Indominus and stuff, but to get Dr. Wu from that movie, a Masrani from that movie, Lowry and Vivian, get all of these characters, hopefully 2021 can be a time to release humans. That would be amazing. I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen, but that would be a great opportunity to get back to, some of the older films and stuff like Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 3 and The Lost World. Give us some of that stuff. Hit up the Amber Collection and those films. We got the Raptor pack and Owen. So let's get let's maybe get a Claire. Let's get a Paul Kirby. Let's get that stuff. Let's get a Raptor, not another Raptor. Let's get something else from a different movie. I keep going to Raptors. And I know a lot of people will say Echo kind of looks like the Lost World Raptor. I completely disagree. If that was, say for instance, that was packaged as the Lost World Raptor for the Amber Collection, I would be severely disappointed. But I would love to see a Lost World Raptor. I would love to see a Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. Maybe the Amber Collection just turns into the Raptor line. I don't know. But I would love to see that stuff. So hopefully it gives them an opportunity to hit some older stuff and not just release Dominion-related, toys. That would be such a huge bummer. As we know, Toy Fair is not exactly happening this year. I forget. It's probably doing some online event. But in person, at least, is not happening. So I don't know what kind of looks we'll get at the new lines. Always in February, we always get that really good look at what's coming, to the next line, the next iteration. And who knows what that is. Maybe Camp Cretaceous is part of that. I think that would be perfect. There's a lot of cool stuff in Camp Cretaceous we could hit still. Details that kind of have been overlooked so far. All those characters. Please sell more humans, or I should say, to call out, because I think we got to reframe how we talk about the humans. We should frame this as, hey Walmart, hey Target, sell more humans, because it's not really up to Mattel. This is really an issue with Target and Walmart and all these big box places wanting to sell them, and they don't want to sell them. So hopefully 2021 could be a Camp Cretaceous year. And let's talk about Camp Cretaceous. I've kind of lost track of the comments again. I'll try to get back to them. But Camp Cretaceous, I loved it. I'm wiping my beard off from that water. But hopefully there's an opportunity for more Camp Cretaceous in between all of this, right? So I feel like we keep hoping and thinking and maybe getting word that a second season could be around the corner, could be right around the corner. So whether that's still true, who knows? Could they say, let's keep that hype train rolling and still release it early next year or something like that? Maybe. Or would they say, well, now that Dominion's gone, it doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense to release a next season? Maybe they would space it out a little bit. I don't know. Or this just gives them an opportunity to hit more seasons before Dominion comes out. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that this is like Marvel, specifically with their upcoming slate on Disney Plus, where you kind of have to see WandaVision before going into the next movie, whatever that is. I forget. I don't think this is necessarily like that, where you must see Camp Cretaceous season 2 before Jurassic World Dominion comes. And I don't necessarily think that things are going to be tied in like that, where you can't see season 3 before Dominion because there's big Dominion spoilers in season 3. This is all assumptions. I'm just kind of projecting things. But I really don't think that this series is that way, like it is for Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. And if you didn't see The Rise of Skywalker and stuff, maybe back out. But I don't know, small spoiler. And the what's the name? The Mandalorian. There's a part in The Mandalorian where actually going back to the release on Disney Plus, it was I Actually, I won't spoil what it was, but there was a thing where we're like, whoa, why did they change the date instead of releasing on a Friday for The Mandalorian? Why did they push it to a Wednesday and then release The Rise of Skywalker on a Friday? But so it was odd, but it made sense because when you watch The Mandalorian, there was a really, really cool reveal that didn't tie into to Rise of Skywalker, but it paid off in a really interesting way, and it was something that you saw for the first time in The Mandalorian, and then you saw it again in The Rise of Skywalker. So that made sense. You needed to see that before seeing the movie. Not needed to, but it was kind of beneficial. I don't know if we're going to have anything like that for Camp Cretaceous where, like, we can't get a season before Dominion shows up. But I don't know. I mean, we've kind of been wondering how much they actually have finished, if they finished more than one season already, if they're kind of just waiting to release it. We do know that there is, I think, something coming up maybe this weekend. I forget when. But like a panel with the creators of Camp Cretaceous and Colin Trevorrow. Maybe it's for like New York Comic Con, I believe. And maybe that could be a time where I got to stop projecting things because every time I start talking about stuff, it comes true, guys. I apologize. But this would be a good one, I guess. Maybe on, I think it may be Friday or something, whenever they do this panel. Maybe they say, guys, we have just one more thing. And they say, Camp Cretaceous second season trailer. Here it is. That would be really, really cool. That would be awesome. So I would expect them to kind of to hype the show up again because just this past week, it disappeared from the top 10, which it was riding that top 10 train for like 2 weeks or so, however long it's been released. When was that? It's been about, 2 to 3 weeks now. So it just kind of lost the top 10 there. I don't know what it's doing today, but it wasn't there the other day when I was looking. So, maybe this week would be a good time to say, hey, guys, you need to watch season 1 so we get that thing back in the top 10. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they time this out. Could we get 3 seasons, 4 seasons? That's probably a little optimistic. I don't know. Could we get 2 to 3 seasons before Dominion shows up? I think it's probable. It's pretty interesting. It'll be pretty interesting to see how that pans out. And then Lewis here, scrolling through our old comments, he says, Camp Cretaceous could be released in, I just lost the comment. I think it said January 2021. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. It scrolled all the way back. And you guys have been talking. Let's see. Stephen Ray Moores, we are all freaking out. These comments are probably so old at this point. Steven also asked, did I say that right? Nope. How do you feel to have a whole extra year to get hyped? I mean, yeah, man, I don't know if I guess you maybe missed it, me talking about it before, but man, I am so hyped to be able to get to podcast with people like you for another year, to be able to have some time to conjure up, theories and fun ideas for another year and fun shows and stuff like that. I'm so excited about that. Ian says Bumpy is the new Baby Yoda. I think, for the Jurassic crew, definitely. I don't think it's kind of penetrated the cultural, conversation the way Baby Yoda has, but, we'll have them battle over it because I got one of each right here. So who's going to win? This guy's tiny. This guy's a little bit bigger. Let's see. Ethan Doyle, referring back to the attraction in Orlando, asks if the rides are canon to the movies. No, definitely not. I mean, specifically Jurassic World, the ride is absolutely not canon to the films. It's kind of like its own thing. It's definitely its own thing because once you get to the end of the attraction, none of that happened the way it's presented. So maybe the first half is kind of canonical in a way, but it's not listed as canon or anything like that. And then the new attraction, it's not, but it could be like it's a fun thing that you could maybe think of as canon. I believe, the way that they're presenting it is that they're opening up a new attraction, a new roller coaster in Jurassic World that runs people through a raptor pen and, right alongside all the raptors. So while that's not anything we ever saw in the films or anything like that, or Camp Cretaceous, maybe you could kind of think of that as canon if it works out. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. We never saw that attraction from the pan in, that you see in Jurassic World, but it's fun. Steven says, summer 2021, can we focus on JP3's 20th anniversary? Yeah, man, that's actually really cool. That's a pretty fun thing to kind of throw in there, For at this point, Orlando's been open for a while, and you're wondering, why am I talking about Orlando? But, back in JP25, everybody went out to California to go see Jurassic Park again, and go to a special, like, in-person event with, like, people from the films and stuff like that. You were there, Steven. But, like, maybe, and I'm sure by that point in time, Universal Hollywood will open back up, but maybe they could switch off and go to Orlando this time and give some love to that park, especially with the new ride opening. Maybe that could be the synergy that we're looking for, is to say, hey, come ride our new attraction. You'll get special ride times after hours in the land. You get to go on both rides, or all the rides. There's a few, and also celebrate Jurassic Park 3's 20th anniversary. That could be really cool. I think that could be fun. That would be a blast. And again, we'll have to see how everything is. The parks seem to have been handling everything pretty well. I know a lot of people have been going. A lot of my friends have been out there. And they seem, fairly safe out there. So I don't know. By that time, maybe we could look at an event. I don't know. But let's see. Yeah, Rebel Commander here also comments on Camp Cretaceous, saying that it was said to come out before Dominion. Yeah, that's what the word is, maybe. So Sam seconds the JP3 event. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments. Cataclysmic Production says that would be crazy if Jurassic World Dominion toys appeared on shelves a year before the movie. It would be crazy, but not unrealistic, unfortunately. Ian says that he wanted Mattel to make a colossal mosasaurus. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I mean, the normal mosasaurus is awesome as it is. So a colossal one, man, how big would that thing be? Let's see here. Lewis says, I think Mattel would just release Dominion toys. They're already making the toys for Dominion, I guess. Yeah, I mean, who knows? We don't really know. We don't have any confirmation. Hopefully it's early enough, like I said, that they haven't put them into production just yet. Yeah. What would be interesting, and I don't know, Paleoraptor here mentions they can remake OG toys with the updated designs. I think that would be extremely interesting. I don't know how plausible that is. They'd have to get the molds, or recreate the molds in some form or fashion to re-release Jurassic Park toys. Like, I don't know who is it. I guess Hasbro. Maybe Hasbro did it for Ghostbusters, but like I said about those Ghostbusters toys, they are legit, like to a T, the exact toys that we got when we were kids. Well, I don't know, I'm old, but that I had when I was a kid, back when those toys were released. So is it possible that they're like, you know what, let's just go ahead and re-release these toys from Kenner? Hopefully they could work out a deal or something like that. That would be amazing if they could get that done. To see like a new iteration of the Red Rex or the young T-Rex or the old, and in scale with the old toys, like the old Alan Grants and Ellie Sattlers, stuff like that. That would be a really, really awesome idea. I think, people would go nuts for that. That would be amazing. And that, honestly, that would have been a cool tie-in to Dominion to say, these old characters are back in this movie. Let's re-release the original toys like they're doing with a lot of this stuff. We're seeing it with Star Wars. We're seeing it with Ghostbusters. So why not Jurassic? Why not? Let's re-release those. And then it would be an amazing tie-in. But at this point, with the movie pushed, it's still a good sell. We don't need the movie for those. I don't think we do. I think those things would sell perfectly fine on their own. So I really, really love that. That would be amazing. But, if we're just to have like the scale and the line that we have now, but you release all those old characters, that would be amazing too. I think that would be cool too. Sam says Lex and Tim figures. Absolutely. Brandon says, I hope we get a 4-pack of ACU Troopers. Oh gosh, I hope not. Maybe. I mean, it could be cool, but I just feel like that's such a boring combination. Maybe we're being facetious there, but I want a 4-pack of like Dino Hunters and like these crazy, whatever they were called, the old versions that we used to get with like the Harpoon Harrison and Jaws Jackson, like those guys, the evil raiders and stuff. Brandon says, Brad, I have a really good question for you. And then follows it up. Let's see. Do you think the Raptor squad could stand a chance with the JP3 Raptors? That's an interesting question. That's a pretty interesting one. Do I think they could stand a chance? I think, man, I don't know. Man. I think that would be a pretty fair battle between them, because communication-wise, I think they're all like on the same level communication-wise, and that is the skill set that the JP3 Raptors have, and obviously that's what the Jurassic World ones were bred for, was communicating and going into battle together. So I don't know. I think that's an interesting question. I don't know if I have an answer for that. I would love to know what other people think. Taylor, what's up? Sam, come on, you're killing me with this. Colossal-sized Bumpy? Oh, my God. Dude, we could replay or relive that moment from Camp Cretaceous. Just the two of us, like, running side by side with Bumpy between us. And, like, honestly, like, I feel like a lot of people would do that in stores if it, like, showed up at Target and it's, like, release day and we're all like, where's that Bumpy at? And we all, like, grab it and we're all sprinting to the front to buy this thing. We're like fighting over it. That would be amazing. Colossal Bumpy. Please give us a Colossal Bumpy. I would absolutely love that. Man, that would be cool. So I'll pause on the comments here for a minute and kind of go back to some conversation points. Something interesting that we could maybe talk about is, live tours and such, events. We kind of talked about the JP3 event. Event. There is no event. We could make one, I guess. We could do it, right, Steven? We should make that happen. Could it be an opportunity to hopefully have the chance to meet up with some people at events like a JP3 event? And obviously, Universal will have some sort of, event kind of release thing for the new, the new roller coaster coming. There will be something. Something will happen. I don't know if they'll get the cast members out there like they did last time. Hopefully, but who knows? But they always do media previews and all kinds of fun stuff. Big openings for those lines all the way out of the park, to get on the attraction. So that could be interesting. But the live tour is a fun question. I feel like we've started to see finally some movement from, and don't get too excited, we've started to see some movement from Feld Entertainment as far as their, talking about productions and trying to maybe restart some things that they can safely do. That does not mean Jurassic World live tour is coming back as of now. It still seems like an impossible task to make that happen in an indoor arena. I don't think we're there yet still. But I don't know. Maybe there's a way. And I think what the best opportunity is for them to sell that or make it a streaming event or something. A streaming event would be fantastic. That way, maybe they could sell it afterwards. But a stream, you could buy the rights to view the stream at a certain period of time. And, afterwards you can download it and add it to your iTunes or whatever whatever you guys use. That could be fun, something like that. Give people the opportunity to see that once and for all around the world, not just in the specific cities. I know that would kind of limit the possibilities for the tour in person, but maybe they could still market it. And Hamilton, hopefully, once this is all done, we'll have a chance to come back and have people in seats. And they just released everything, the entire show on Disney Plus. So people would still go to see the show in person. Maybe that could happen here for Jurassic. Not saying Jurassic World Live Tour and Hamilton are on the same level, but still, it's still a possibility that maybe people would still go to see it, even if it was released or streamed and even released on DVD or digitally. So that's a possibility. I would love to see them kind of tackle that in some way in 2021. Get these people, a lot of the cast members are dying to come back. I see a lot of them each and every day sharing their love of the show and saying how much they miss it and want to come back and hope it comes back. And, there's a lot of when it comes back or if it comes back, so who knows what the chances are. So this was going to be running. At least we know that there were dates into early 2021 initially for Jurassic World Live Tour. So they were, hopefully going to be touring that show right into Dominion, and probably well past Dominion. So, hopefully Feld can bounce back. I'm sure they have still all the props and all the merch and everything out there still. Hopefully they can get those the amazing cast back. Hopefully all the originals to come back and have a second chance, because a lot of them didn't get to say goodbye when they should have. So maybe it gives them the opportunity to come back and do it again during mid 2021 or something like that, and into the release of Dominion. Kind of like forget that 2020 happened and just start over. Start over. That would be amazing, and I really hope that's something that they get the chance to do again. Who really knows if they'll have that opportunity? And if they don't have the opportunity for in-person stuff, like I said, do something digitally. Get all those people out there, quarantine them for 2 weeks, get them down to Florida or wherever, get a venue that they can go and film at and film the entire thing. And also, Jurassic World, the exhibition, is currently touring. As far as I know, Lewis, maybe you have some better insight into that. I know you are pretty on top of that. Jurassic World, the exhibition, I don't remember where it is. It's somewhere, I think. I don't know. I think it's somewhere out there. But hopefully that would have the chance to continue going. It was supposed to go into the States, but that doesn't really seem to be happening anymore. So hopefully it has a chance to continue touring around. They just got new stuff out there. They literally are still adding all kinds of amazing animatronics. The brand new T-Rex that is the same, not the exact same one, but the same creators made a new one for a new T-Rex for the exhibition. So hopefully there's the opportunity to continue that and maybe expand it. I don't know. So live stuff is just very interesting. A lot of other places, I forget where it was. If it was in China, maybe. I think that's where it is. They just reopened. Things are a bit better handled there than they are here. So they have the opportunity to handle things a bit better. So, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see it here, but it would be nice to at least if somebody can get it in the world. So what else do we got? There's nothing else live-wise, I don't think. Like I said, Toy Fair is not really going to be happening, so there's nothing really to, schedule out for that. But I see somebody here. Let's see. I kind of caught up a little bit. And Danny Castro says, and make a better looking a game better looking than Jurassic World Aftermath. Yeah, video games are an interesting sell for 2021. That is interesting because I think Jurassic World Evolution did pretty well. It did really well. Jurassic World Aftermath probably will not do nearly as well. I know a lot of people are down on the game, but I think it looks pretty cool. I don't care that it looks the way it does visually. I don't think we need to critique it based off of the fact that it doesn't look realistic, I guess. I think as long as the story is compelling, it could be a lot of fun. And, not every game needs to be super ultra realistic to be fun. So, I think visually it looks really cool and interesting. So, I'm totally down for that. And I mentioned it in the Jurassic Wire that, I played a game which has been out for a long time now called Firewatch, and it looks a lot like that vibe, that style of game. So I'm totally down for that. But, Danny did follow it up. I mean, that open world survival game is what we need. I think 2021 could be a good year for that. And there's always been rumors and hints that we'll maybe get a new game from Frontier. Who knows? But will they still release a video game? My watch is going off again. Will they still release a video game in 2021? That's an interesting one. I don't know. I still think it could do well, but that's something they definitely want to save for the tie-in, right? Who knows? Yeah, but we've been going for an hour now, guys. We've been going for a while. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about? If you guys are just tuning in, I gotta say, I'm very excited that Jurassic World Dominion has been pushed to 2022. June 10th, 2022. I think it's going to be amazing. And we can finally breathe a little bit better knowing that this movie is not going to be rushed. They have more time to work on the CG to make these dinosaurs look as realistic as possible. More time to tweak the editing, to do whatever they need to do to edit this movie, to hopefully make it not just 2 hours, make it a little bit longer than that. But reshoots, you don't have to cram reshoots in, before, or maybe just forget them altogether. You don't need to do stuff like that now that we have more time. This is going to be great. I think this is the best possible thing. And like I said at the beginning, it gives everybody the opportunity to hopefully go see this together. It really gives everybody the opportunity to see this together. Tal, thank you so much, man. I know you said, I'm really sad it's getting delayed, but I totally get it. Tal, thank you so much for the super chat. Man, thank you so much for watching, dude. I know you're, across the world right now. I hope you're doing okay out there. I hope you're doing well. And, maybe this gives us the opportunity to see it together sometime. That's what I'm excited about. I don't know if you'll be back by then, but, this at least gives people the opportunity to come together and see this movie at a better time in the world. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we're looking at a better time in the world. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this. I've been saying it time and time again on the podcast, putting my vibes out into the world. hoping that this thing gets pushed. Luckily, it has. This is honestly 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. The Wire. So if you guys are not listening to the Jurassic Wire with myself and Aaron Beyer, rhyme not intended, but if you're not listening to that, you got to listen to it, because last week is when it was released, right? A 3-hour episode. 3.5-hour episode. My bad. And our first topic was the Velocicoaster before they announced it officially. We talked about the Velocicoaster a lot, and then the next week it was announced. And then we also talked about Jurassic World Dominion and delays and how we just don't see this happening. And then guess what, guys? It's delayed this week. What else did we talk? We talked about Jurassic World Aftermath, and we also talked about Camp Cretaceous. So maybe we'll get a Camp Cretaceous Season 2 announcement this week or next week, maybe. I don't know about Aftermath. I don't know how that will tie in. But yeah. And another thing I really should have mentioned this up top, but guys, like, Jurassic World depends on $1 billion, right? This franchise depends on $1 billion hitting that box office each time around. If they release in June, that is not happening. That is not happening. If I remember correctly, I think Tenet just crossed like 50 million. And that's a big number for this time right now. I think that's what it was. And that's worldwide, I believe. So that's really disappointing. You know? That's disappointing. Jurassic World made like 208 million or 205 million or something, I think. I forget what Dominion, Fallen Kingdom did, but you're expecting, and that was opening weekend, by the way. You're expecting at least like $200 million opening weekend. And in June 2021, that will absolutely not happen. So I'm glad that opportunity for a big box office and to make more movies, because with that big box office comes more movies and more entertainment, more toys, more everything. So 2022 gives them the best opportunity to do that. So I'm glad. I'm glad that they're saving it for the box office. That could hopefully give them some more money. And Tal followed it up with, yes, for sure, giant watch party. Definitely will be back by then. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So I'm excited, guys. And like I said, I've been going for a while. So why don't we go ahead and end this thing? It's been fun, guys. If you have any final points, put them in there. I'll try to mention them on the way out here. But let's get that music rolling here. So let's pipe that in, because I am ready to go. Music is back. Been a fun live stream, guys. I hope you like this one. There's been a lot of viewers in here this whole time, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys want to hear more stuff like this, please, just stay tuned, because we do live streams whenever news pops up like this. We didn't even really talk about the image that's over there. Looks cool. Looks a lot like the Amber Fines logo that you'll see and hear on our podcast. It's a podcast a segment by Jay Jurassic on our podcast. So this week on the podcast, if you haven't listened already, we talked about it was the Jurassic mailbag. So we talked about whatever you guys wanted, which is Dominion, Camp Cretaceous, all kinds of great stuff. It was amazing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody who subscribed recently. We have finally crossed over 10,000 subs, so thank you. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much. You're all so awesome. I think we also crossed over like 3 million views. That's really cool. Bye, Sam. Bye, Siaka. Thank you, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. If you guys have any other comments or anything that I missed, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below. Man, this has been fun. I'm excited, guys. I am so pumped. I know I'm probably one of the only people out there that is pumped that this movie's getting delayed, but it makes me so happy. So happy. I get many more podcasts with you guys. I'm so thrilled about that. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Where's my background? Let's get my background up here. didn't really put too much of a production on this for this live stream, but I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. Find all of our show notes, our episodes, our articles. Everything is over there. And, you know, follow us on Twitter, Jurassic Park Pod, on Instagram, Jurassic Park Podcast, Facebook, whatever. What else? Podcasts. Like I said, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Why am I screaming? Spotify. Sometimes it messes up. I don't know why on Spotify. Amazon Music, guys. If you're on Amazon Music, I'm on Amazon Music. Now the podcast is on Amazon Music. Go listen to podcasts on Amazon Music. That's really cool. I think the visuals and everything on that app for the podcast are beautiful. It's very streamlined, very fancy looking. I think it looks awesome. So go check it out over there. What else? Did I cover everything? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching this live stream, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.